But first, we begin with everything Charlie was against: a freedom-crushing communist wannabe. President Trump putting commie, yes, communist, commie, however you want to say it, Zohran Mamdani, officially on notice. The American taxpayer will not be bankrolling his destined to fail New York City experiment.
I'm not going to send a lot of money to New York. I don't have to. You know, the money comes all through the White House. And if they're going to be sending us stupid policies, I mean, communist policies, which is proven for thousands of years doesn't work. You know, we don't have to prove it again. We're not going to ruin one of our great cities. But if somebody's going to be a communist mayor of New York, it's a fluke if he gets in. He's a communist. He's not a socialist, by the way. There's a big difference. He's a communist. He's down and dirty. We're not going to let somebody get into office and squander the taxpayer money from this country. We're not going to let it happen.
Live with us on set to discuss, Fox News contributor Liz Peek. Always great to see you. So I think he's right. It is a little bit of a fluke. You've got lack of better candidates, right, on the other side, and Cuomo is like, I call him commie light. But anyway, the president is basically saying, if he wins, if the socialist communist wins, I'm not giving you any federal funds. And you know what? I live here and I will suffer, Liz, as a result of it, and so will you. But I stand by the president on that.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely the case that Mamdani could really ruin New York City. And I think President Trump is so horrified by this. This is his city. It's where he grew up. It's where he made his fortune. And I think, like a lot of us, he's looking at this and saying, how in the world did we get here? This is the citadel of capitalism, not only in the United States, but for the world. Since, in the last 5 years, 158 Wall Street firms have left New York City. This is an exodus that will continue and may accelerate if the policies become even worse. Why are they leaving? High taxes, high crime, bad quality of life, cost of living, all those things. Jackie, it is the case that no one holds local politicians accountable for these things, and instead we're going to elect someone whose policies are even worse than his predecessor. So it's a little hard to understand why New York City voters are lining up for this. One New York Times writer said, well, it's not the vibes, but he's just such an outsider. Even though his policies admittedly aren't going to work, he's just willing to take, roll the dice. Bad for us who live here.
He found a little bit of a foothold here with some of the demographic shifts we've seen post-COVID, I think, and also taking advantage of people not liking Cuomo, looking at Sliwa as a little bit, tired, having lost a previous election. So I think he got his foot in the door, and he just, he's like a dog with a bone. He's not going to let go.
And he's a very charismatic, let's be honest, he's a charismatic candidate, a young candidate, no experience, but that doesn't really weigh against a very photogenic smile and a lot of very fancy promises. President Trump is right. The federal government funds about 6% of New York City's budget and has about $18 billion on hold in infrastructure. He can wreak havoc on the finances of the city if he withholds federal funding. So I don't think this is a great setup. Again, voters don't seem to care.
I want to move on to Mamdani befriending the biggest Trump hater of all. Well, that's kind of a contest, isn't it? One of the biggest. Attorney General Letitia James, who rallied with Mamdani last night in her first public appearance since being indicted on federal mortgage fraud charges. Here's how that went.
I will not bow. I will not break. I will not bend. I will not capitulate. I will not give in. I will not give up. You come for me, you gotta come to all of us.
It is the power of a movement that won the battle over the soul of the Democratic Party.
Well, the headline there is the party has a soul because there's a lot of soullessness in that power grab. Tish James has access to a $10 million slush fund that was put in place by Kathy Hochul and the Democrats at the state level that she can tap to help pay for her legal fees. Yet to be seen if that happens. But I wanted just to pull this all together. Jackie knows I was running numbers on how quickly the finances of New York City will hit rock bottom, like 1975 style. Like, you only have to lose about 20% of the tax revenue for it to wind up in a situation, the city, where the state has to come in and essentially take over. Right. And it's maybe a few, like 10,000, 20,000 households maybe, and then Wall Street bonuses fall in like 40%.
So what you have to hope is that there's a governor in place who is a regulator or a inhibitor of what Mamdani wants to do, and will not allow taxes to go up in the city, will not allow that continued exodus that I talked about before. Here's what I think. Letitia James did not initially get in bed with Mamdani on the Democratic primary. She had, I think she was backing the head of the city council, Adams, not Eric Adams. And that person didn't win. So she gravitated finally to Mamdani. It took a while. But now I think I would not be surprised at all if she jumps into the gubernatorial race. There's going to be a primary. Kathy Hochul is being primaried already by her lieutenant governor, who is to the left, Antonio Delgado. And I think Letitia James may be looking at that, realizing that teaming up with Mamdani could be politically a very good thing for her. He's a very big campaigner. If he becomes mayor, which it looks like he will, he could be out there saying, we're going to work with Albany. This is the person. Remember, Kathy Hochul stupidly endorsed Mamdani, did not require a reverse endorsement of her candidacy for governor, a repeat governor election. So she's out sort of waiting in the wings for him to come in and say, yeah, you're the person. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to look to possibly Letitia James to be his sort of cohort and partner in Albany, and that is a really scary premise.
She'd have to clear her indictment.
Without a doubt. If
Situation.
she is indicted, the game is over, without a doubt, because you can't be an attorney general as I don't know if that makes her a felon or whatever that is.
Yeah.
But, and by the way, I mean, her big umbrage about being indicted on this, let's all remember, she campaigned on getting Donald Trump, and with one of the most horrible, biased judges in the world, ended up penalizing Donald Trump $454 million for a victimless crime. It was preposterous. She deserves every bit of this.
Boom. Liz Peek, thank you.
Thanks for having me.